The FBI and U.S. Marshals are now offering up to a $20,000 reward for any information that leads to the capture of Roy McGrath, the fugitive former chief of staff to Maryland Governor Larry Hogan. His face and name have been plastered on FBI posters all across the country since he failed to show up in court more than 2 weeks ago for the start of his wire and embezzlement trial in Baltimore. It's a wild story. Joining me now is the chief inspector and commander of the U.S. Marshal Fugitive Task Force in New York and New Jersey, Lenny DePaul, who also hosts the show Manhunters. Thanks so much for coming on, Lenny. First of all, I know you've spoken to investigators in the case. Is there any update? Do they have any idea where this guy is?
Well, good evening, Brian. And they hit the ground running a couple of weeks ago. I did have a conversation today, and, they're hitting on all cylinders. They're the premier agency in this country, the U.S. Marshals, in finding people. So they're putting that puzzle together, connecting the dots, and doing what they do best.
Yeah, I got a good buddy who's a U.S. Marshal, so, I've got all the faith in them. And I was thinking, in today's world with credit cards and, surveillance cameras, and you have to take money out of the bank, I mean, it's kind of hard to believe they haven't tracked him down yet.
Well, it does take time, but like I said, they are putting that puzzle together and connecting the dots. We call it who's who in the zoo, Brian. They're flipping their worlds upside down. It's not just him they're looking at. That digital footprint is very important historically. What did he do? Who did he call? The assets that are available to the U.S. Marshals, their task forces, they're global. So it makes it very tough, to stay on the run. But, I always say, Brian, you can run, but you can't hide. And when you run, you only go to jail tired.
Yeah, it's a good point. What do you think? What does your gut tell you? I mean, not based on what you've heard from investigators, but just yourself. Do you think he's still in the country? I mean, it seems like he's got some level of resources to maybe get away.
I think he had a plan. I think it was well thought out, or at least he thinks it is. He's off the grid. He's gone dark. I mean, he hit the ground running. Right now they're chasing a ghost, but he'll make a mistake. I mean, human instincts turn into animal instincts, and desperate people do desperate things. So the bigger question is, what's his mindset? I mean, if that noose starts tightening and they set that perimeter up and got him in their sights, what's his thought process? Is it suicide by cop? I mean, he's looking at a significant amount of time in a federal penitentiary if he's found guilty. So, thankfully or hopefully this thing goes down without incident and they put this thing to bed sooner than later.
Well, like you said, I mean, if anyone can do it, it's the U.S. Marshals. I wouldn't want to be him right now because, they're going to be tracking him soon. And what kind of life is that? So he's watching. Hopefully he'll turn himself in. Lenny DePaul, thanks so much for coming on tonight. We appreciate it. That does it for Dan Abrams tonight. Banfield starts right now.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.